How's it going, everybody? This is Rob of NovaCast back with another video. With this particular one, we're actually responding to two short videos that Onision posted recently. Both are regarding some of the drama that he has been in, especially with the stuff with Calvin Gara, as well as Mr. Repzion, and his delusions about, or at least what he believes to be, and I say believe because he nitpicks the definition of what stalking is. So, without further delay, let's go ahead and get this started. And just like a lot of the other videos that I've been posting of Onision, you will see, or at least hear the audio from him, but the video itself has been edited to the point where you're not actually seeing the video, just the audio, or at least hearing the audio. So let's get started.
There was an email sent to a YouTuber saying you redistributed patron-only content to over 100,000 people.
Okay, so when you say redistributing, I think you, or at least this is my take on this, I think you're confusing, redistributing or just, taking your content and posting it somewhere else to try to make money. You're confusing it with them reviewing your content, giving commentary to your content, responding to it. But you can't handle any of that because you don't like it that people have been calling you out on your own Patreon. Especially since with it being a paid-only subscription, you take that as a point to use your little audio podcast to cowardly talk about people.
I'm asking you to stop again making any content about me. This is simply a request for legal reasons for you to stop.
Okay, hold on. Didn't you say in your podcast that when it comes to legal issues, you don't talk about it through the internet? I mean, you were bashing people about talking about the issues with the copyright. So how is this any different from that? I mean, if you're going to not talk about quote-unquote legal issues, then maybe perhaps actually, I don't know, maybe kind of keep to the same standards that you make for others? Because then that just makes you look like a hypocrite.
Again, you have caused so much financial and emotional damage.
So says the guy that bought another property of wetlands. And emotional damage, boo fuckity who, dude. You've caused so much harm for other people. Look, if you can't handle people talking about you, then maybe you should not be on the internet.
Said individual responds with all of this. They specifically made a response indicating that the user Calvin Gara released the paid-only Patreon content. This is the very clear implication. He said this may give you some more context. You click on this link and you scroll up and you see Calvin saying he wonders who released this content and implies that they distributed to as many anti-O YouTubers as possible. Anti-O stands for anti-Onision, basically people who have made it a purpose in their life to harass Onision.
At this point, Onision, anybody can, if they wanted to and wanted to spend the money, they could go on your Patreon, pay the subscription, even go to Patreon, say, hey, I want to take this back because I don't want to support this individual, and they could review your content. They're allowed to do that. And when it comes to this whole thing with the whole podcast and all that, that in a sense falls under fair use. Just like when you were posting porn to your patrons and people were calling you out on it, myself included. It was paid content, sure, but that goes for let's say any book or any TV show or music. I mean, you can't pick or choose. All of them, or at least anything that you deal with when it comes to, like I said, books, movies, TV shows, music, video games, whatever, it's all paid content. You paid for the content, and if you want to, you could do videos on it where you give a review. Let's say for video games, you do Let's Plays, whatever. As long as you're giving commentary, reaction, review, and other situations where you're pretty much discussing, I guess, in a sense, discussing the content, it falls under fair use. What Calvin Garrett's doing, what Mr. Repzion's doing, what Madam is doing, all of that falls under fair use, buddy. They're allowed to do that.
Down here, it says, let's just say those took up a ton of my Google Drive space. So you have this individual who has made it clear that he got the content from Calvin Guerra, the content that he distributed to over 100,000 people that was paid only from Patreon. Exclusive podcasts cost $4 to have access to on the Onision Patreon.
No offense, but what's the fucking point? A new title for a video game can go up to, let's say, if you know what, just say for instance you want to pay collector's edition. The most I've ever seen for a collector's edition would probably be around $300. I mean, video gaming itself, no offense to anybody, is a very expensive hobby. And you pay for a lot of content when it comes to, you know, the games, the consoles, you know, anything in between, you know, add-ons, skins, whatever. So your quote-unquote paid content is no different to anything else that people will buy and then talk about for their videos.
So over 100,000 people had access to something that would have cost $4 per person. So this person distributes paid-only content to the public, over 100,000 people, and he points to this person who is very clearly taking satisfaction in harassing and violating the Patreon of Onision. If it is illegal to take paid-only content and redistribute it for free, then this person just admitted to committing a crime.
But he's not redistributing it. He's talking about it. Him and everybody else is talking about it. In fact, I was wanting to do a little bit of it. I may still do it where I give my thoughts on it, even though it's mostly you go after Mr. Repzion. But overall, I actually wanted to talk about it because at first, I will say this. At first, it kind of starts off with you attacking Repzion, but then you started going into other, I would say overall, the critics or your critics that criticize you for your content as well as your behavior and so on. Alright, so now let's get to the next one, and oh boy.
Hey guys, it's me, Onision, on the TV here. I just wanted to test out this camera real quick and also ask something of you guys. First of all, it doesn't matter anything that anyone has done when it comes to a very simple point. And that simple point is stalking is wrong. And you saying, hey, it's okay to stalk somebody because I believe this, this, and this, it's not relevant.
It's not stalking. I know you love to confuse stalking for criticism for stalking, but overall, it's not the same thing. People criticizing you is not stalking. People making videos of you is not stalking you. It's not. It's absolutely not.
Also, stealing patron-only content and redistributing it to hundreds of thousands of people, that is also wrong.
Again, we are not redistributing it. We're criticizing it. You know what? Now I definitely want to talk about this fucking video because, oh my gosh. Look, I know nothing anybody says is going to go through that thick skull of yours. More than likely, you're not even going to watch these videos because you think you're right. You think you know everything, even though it's been proven time and time again you don't. But overall, criticism is not harassment. It is not stalking you.
You could say, oh, but this person did this, this, and this, but that doesn't make hurting people, hurting their family, hurting people that they're trying to support and so forth, it doesn't make it okay. You have people who try to act like my spouse's hero, but then they attack me and try to destroy my livelihood.
First of all, any attack on your livelihood would be from you at this point. Because you can't change yourself. You can't look at yourself and maybe think that you're probably doing something wrong, but instead you perpetuate the same behavior over and over and over and over again. You know, I'm wondering, have you guys ever watched Cell? It's that one movie where the one lady goes inside the serial killer's mind, and it's both weird, creepy, and kind of breathtaking, like mesmerizing in a sense, because you kind of wonder what the hell's been going on in this dude's head. That's what I kind of wonder about Onision's mind, is what his kind of like inner world would be, so to speak.
Guys, my spouse and I live under the same roof. We have the same livelihood, okay? Imagine you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend and people are acting like they're your hero while attacking the person that you love. Let's stop trying to justify dehumanizing and hurting people just because we think that they're guilty of something else. You understand that concept? It's not okay to do evil things just because you think the person you're doing those evil things to is evil. You're still an evil person for doing those evil things to that person, especially when you don't even know that person. But you guys aren't gonna see it my way, so whatever, bye. How do I turn this thing off?
Okay, so for that last statement, it's always funny and really pathetic when he keeps using his spouse as a scapegoat. Like, repeatedly using them as a scapegoat to push his narrative. And honestly, when it comes to all the stuff, like, if it's really that damaging, then you know what, Kai needs to publicly discuss this. Or are they, here would be my question, actually. Onision, would your husband talk to us in public, or would they use their quote-unquote private Twitter so that nobody would see it? Anyways, these two videos are completely stupid. By the way, Onision, just so you know, the definition of stalking, which is pursue or approach stealthily, or harass or prosecute someone with unwanted and obsessive attention, or move silently or threatening through a place. Now, first off, we're not coming to your house and, hiding in the bushes, seeing, what garbage you throw away. We don't, follow you in the streets or, in the crosswalk as you're, let's say, trying to get a freaking bagel or some crap. We don't do that. We make a video, and that's about it. Apparently, people making videos about you, obviously, is considered quote-unquote stalking, which that's not okay. It isn't. Alright, so I think I'm going to go ahead and end this one here. Like I said, these videos were just... Anywho, leave in the comments your thoughts. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. This is Rob of Novacast signing off. Have a good one, and take care.